I've got a pros in the wild that relates to the aqua dump.
Let's do it.
Who knew that these two storylines would converge? Dear DLS and Chaz, listening to the grit last week and hearing about taking a dump in the actual lineup reminded me of a pros in the wild story. I'm a morning dumper myself and always do my business before surfing. That also makes me a rare sight in the pre-dawn lineup. One morning many years ago, I drove to Halama for a surf on a weekday. The morning business was slightly off, one of those little rabbit poos, but no need to dampen my surf plan. I'd play through. During the 20-minute walk down the beach, however, a violent crampy feeling was changing my mind. I was going to have round two. No choice in the matter. The good news is the beach was pretty empty. I was 20 minutes away from the campground bathroom. I knew I would never make it back. I was stranded. It was time to dig a hole. I found a spot as close to the cliff as I could. I dug a little hole, pretending I was sitting down to towel change and filling the hole with chocolate pudding. Not unlike that scene from Dumb and Dumber. All the while trying not to be noticed and keeping one eye out for any other surfer walking down towards the break. It was one of those 1 in a million off days that Chaz was talking about. Total bummer. Or maybe it was 1 in 1,000, as I was eating a lot of Chipotle back then. But but at least I didn't shit my pants. I don't think anyone saw either, so the disaster was avoided. Let's get on with the surf session. I moved my stuff 50 yards further down the beach for obvious reasons, and I towel changed this time for real. My mess left behind in a shallow grave. There was a speck on the horizon as I was defiling the sand, too far to see anything, but making its way closer. The speck became an outline. The outline took shape of a surfer carrying a board. The surfer was headed right for my poop landmine, like he and Google Maps had been guiding him. Dude, go literally anywhere else on this 1 mile stretch of beach. But nope, he was going to set up camp right there. Poor bastard. Well, it's a wild west up here. There's lots of dead seals and pelicans. So hopefully he watches where he steps. Oh no, the surfer now clearly came into vision and it was recognizable as one Tom Curran. I was mortified. What do I do? I can't let him step in my deuce, but I can't go running down the beach waving my arms either. Uh, not not what I want to be known for. But I'll leave it to chance for now. My childhood hero, 3-time world champ, Lord of the 805, and most elegant surfer alive. What are the freaking odds? I can't watch. I say a quick prayer to the Poop-Avoidance-Gods, and I ran to the shoreline, paddle back out, and never looked back. Sorry, Tom. I hope the poo-poo avoidance prayer worked. Keep my name withheld, please.
I'm going to put this one up as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, pros in the wild we've ever had.
Are they starting to feel fake?
I mean, this one, as they say, truth is stranger than fiction. I don't know how you could make this up, to be honest, and have it be so elegant in its telling.
To be honest, and honestly, it is perfect. It is very Curran-esque.
Sure,
Like
to be
Curran
guided
doesn't
accidentally
choose
to the poop.
totally. Like we've talked about Curran's mythic status and how he just appears like an apparition at the most inopportune or the most opportune moments. Like that is the other thing is you could be surfing somewhere random around the world, not another surfer in sight, and it's a moderate day, not that great, but then all of a sudden a set appears on the horizon and there's a surfer who happens to be positioned out there, and as you're paddling over the shoulder and he's bottom turning, you're realizing it's Tom Curran
Yep.
of all people. You know what I mean? Like that is how Curran arrives. And so if he would have said that this was, you know, Gary Kong Elterton who showed up at the beach, I'd be like, what? But again, that would be so random that maybe that would make sense too. But the fact that it was Curran makes perfect sense.
Totally, totally. I think somebody would have. I think if somebody wrote in a fake pro in the wild, and especially if it included Tom Curran, um, they would have to write in or call in the following week to repent because they would be haunted. Things would start going very wrong and bad in their life. Their like wheels would fall off their car. Like it'd be so bad that they would know it was directly related to them lying about a pro in the wild featuring Tom Curran. They would have to call in and repent. So we'll know next week.
Totally. I think Karma is really deft and diabolical, and it'll show up in the form of you breaking your board on the next session, you not getting set waves, all that sort of stuff, because this segment is too pure and great for you to defile.
And the combination of not only the segment, Pros in the Wild, but where it all began, Tom Curran basically sightings in the wild. Uh, Tom Curran's little ghosties will go and get you.
I know. If you want to see Tom in person, though, playing his music, come out to the Florida Surf Film Festival next month. We'll be there.
I remember that
Oh,
I was such a huge, obviously, like everyone's a huge fan of Van Morrison. Every surfer was a fan of Tom Curran. Uh, and like, obviously, just, like everyone, poster on the wall. I can picture it now. Tom Curran, Tom Curran, Tom Curran. I, so when I heard that he was a musician too, I was like, yes, Tom Curran, of course. It was so sick. And then I heard his music and I was like, what the hell is this shit? I thought Tom Curran, in my mind, since he was so awesome, was basically back then to me, was just going to pull out like one of those flying V axes and just, bah, just straight either punk or heavy metal or something cool. And I was like, is it folk music? Does he play folk music? What is he playing? What is this? Yeah. It's real
I don't think I.
disappointed, Tom.
So it strangely, I think that at the Florida Surf Film Festival will be the first time I listen to Tom Curran's music.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have you've seen enough pictures to know probably what that kind of music is, though. I'll tell you
I
what,
just
it
pres
ain't punk rock.
I just presume that he liked jamming on the guitar, and he's such a iconic figure that people go, "Well, I want to hear you jam on the guitar," and that's how he ends up on stage.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't think he
yeah,
was like writing music, you know?
but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if he's better or worse than Kelly Slater and the Surfers.
Okay, sounds good.